Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Destination FBA and my name is Emma. So I'm an Amazon FBA seller and I upload these videos so I can share my journey with you. Now, as well as this, I share any useful hints, tips, things that I pick up along the way. So today I want to talk to you about the most common mistakes people make when they're doing FBA. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're a new seller or an experienced seller, these are things that we all need to be aware of. Now, if you can learn from other people's mistakes, this will save you a lot of time and a lot of money in the future. So the first one we're going to look at is breaking the rules. So when you first start selling on Amazon, or before you even start selling, you need to make sure you read Amazon's terms and conditions and you know exactly what is and what isn't allowed. You do not want to be getting yourself into trouble because you'll risk getting a suspension on that account. While your account is suspended, you won't be able to make any sales and you won't be able to withdraw any money that's owed to you either. So make sure you do your research and protect yourself as best as you can. Now, if you violate Amazon's terms of service, they can just close that account down altogether. Now, if this happens, you'll lose access to all that inventory held in the warehouses. This could cost you hugely and it'll stop your business in its tracks before you've even properly got started. So next, let's take a look at ignoring the competition. So when you purchase any item, you need to do your research first and you need to thoroughly analyse all those deals. Not only do you want to be looking at the profit margin and the return on investment, but you need to see what the competition is doing as well. So you need to check how many other sellers there are, what stock they have and how fast that stock is moving. If you don't do your research and that product is too competitive, you could end up with it just sat on Amazon shelves, costing you money in storage fees and tying up your investment. Now, you should also be checking if Amazon are on the list, and if they are, is there any evidence that they share that buy box with other sellers? Now, it can be really difficult to compete with Amazon, so make sure you check that competition analysis before you make any purchases. Now, BuyBot Pro is a great piece of software for being able to look at this, so I would recommend you maybe look at my last video where I did a retail arbitrage vlog and just see the software being used. Now, another common mistake is overstocking inventory. It's very important you keep the correct levels of stock. You don't want to be overstocking because, again, this could cost you in long-term storage fees if those items are sat there for some time. And if at a later date you want to get the items back, you will also have to pay a removal fee. There's times you might buy something in bulk to get a good discount, but just be mindful of how many of these you're sending into Amazon at a time. Be sure of the sales and be sure of what the competition is doing as well. Now, when it comes to sending this stock in, we need to get the right balance. We also need to make sure that we do not let ourselves run out of inventory. Now, there is nothing worse than finding a great product with a great profit margin, a great return on investment, great sales, just to let yourself run out of stock. This is the quickest way to lose yourself sales. You should try to keep your replenishables well stocked and keep around 30 to 60 days of stock in at any one time. Now, having good stock levels will also help you to win those buy boxes. So we now have the right stock levels. We need to make sure that our products are not priced too high. Now, this is quite a simple one. If you're priced too high, you'll struggle to get sales and you'll struggle to compete with other sellers as well. Now, if you're priced much higher than the competition, you'll also struggle to win those buy boxes and you could find that your stock is sat on Amazon shelves for quite some time. Now, also, if all sellers are priced too high, Amazon may just suppress that buy box altogether and this will result in all sellers losing out on that buy box win. So next, we'll move on to our costings. So you need to make sure you take into account all of your costings. Now, when we send items into Amazon, we know exactly what those fees are going to be because Amazon will tell us beforehand. Now, one of the biggest mistakes we can make though is forgetting to include all the other costings. So by other costings, I mean things like your labels, your polybags, your boxes. It all adds up and it has to be accounted for somewhere. And then on top of this, you also have your shipping to Amazon. So what I tend to do with the shipping is take the cost of the shipping, take the cost of the box, anything else that I've used, and divide it by the amount of units I'm sending in. So if the box and shipping has cost me £5.20 and I'm sending in 50 units, this gives an individual cost of 10 pence an item. If you do not work these things into your costings, you could end up losing money, so it's really important you keep thorough records. Now, I've been on the beta testing of a new software called Sumfly, and that actually launches later this week, I believe. So I would recommend you take a look at that. It just helps keep all of your records in one place. And then the final thing to mention is customer feedback. Now, this one is fairly self-explanatory. All good businesses give good customer service. Now, if a customer has a question, be sure to answer it politely, in a timely manner, and if they have a problem, go above and beyond to put that problem right. Remember that you only want good positive feedback, so do everything in your power to keep that customer happy. You should also use any feedback to improve on your business. Happy customers equals more sales. Be that business that people talk about and want to come back to. It doesn't take much effort, but it makes a big difference. There may be lots of challenges and issues you'll come up against, but you'll learn as you go along. Just make sure you use these mistakes to improve on things in the future. No business is perfect, but with time comes experience and knowledge. So just take into account the things I've mentioned here today and you'll be on the right track straight away. Don't break any rules, however trivial they may seem. Do your research, price accordingly, and take that competition seriously. Make sure you keep enough but not too much inventory in stock. Make sure you also include all those costs. It doesn't matter how big or small, they all need to be accounted for. And finally, give the best customer services that you can. Now enjoy what you're doing and be proud of it as well. It's not always easy, but if you can stick with it, it will be totally worth it in the end. Now I hope this video has helped you a little. Any questions at all, please do pop them below or jump in our Facebook group and I'd be more than happy to help. But for now, thank you for watching and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.